afternoon, welcome to the Anglia exams. My name is Lisa, I'll be your examiner for today. This is an examination for the C2 Masters level certificate. Could you please tell me your name and your candidate number?
Sure. My name is Sebastian Bosma. My candidate number is 01496.
Thank you, Sebastian. Can I just have a look at your card?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. So we're going to start the exam. There's three parts to this test. Task one will be a general introduction and warm-up.
Sure. Perfect.
Okay.
Let's get started.
Okay, let's get started. So, Sebastian, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, your personal details, and any education experience you've had.
Sure. I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm from a town called Wierden. It's in the east of the Netherlands, near the German border. I went to secondary school to a city called Almelo. It's not far from where I used to live. And I used to do A-levels there, and I passed my A-levels there, and I went on to university in England. So I came over to England, 5 years ago.
Okay, so what age were you when you came to England?
I was 19 years old when
19.
I came here, yeah.
Tell me a bit about your school experience. Was it a positive experience at school?
I think the school, what it really, because the people you are with makes your experience well, and of course the level of teaching you get at a secondary school. And my secondary school was absolutely fabulous. I had a very good time, and my grades were okay, it's good, but I had also a very good time with my friends. So that whole experience makes it then worthwhile and very memorable.
Okay. So, tell me then about your experience coming to this country and having an education at a university academic level compared to...
Yeah, it's actually funny. I started at university in the Netherlands, but my level of English wasn't good enough back then. So I decided, well, where can I learn English best? And I thought, well, going to England would enable me to learn the language at in a better way with English people here, and the education here, and definitely at the college where I went to was at such high level that it really helped me improve my English.
Okay. Would you consider relocating to another country in the future for a different job, maybe?
Definitely. I mean, I was 19 when I moved to England here, and that was a step which was big, but not big enough. I would love to go to even further, maybe America is where my dreams were.
What would you do in America?
Well, I think California would be my favorite place because of the industry there. There's a lot of big businesses there, and definitely in, for example, Silicon Valley, near San Francisco, which is a booming place for businesses and digital businesses and online businesses. So I would love to go there. And the other factor, which the reason why I would like to move there is the weather. Okay. Because the weather here in England is just...
It's fantastic.
Well, fantastic in the summer, the few days we have, but not fantastic in the winter.
So learning English obviously is going to support your future as well as an international language, being able to move around the world. Is that why you've chosen English?
That's correct. I think English is the global language, and therefore if you know your English very well, you can work wherever you want, because the first language would always be wherever you go, English.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much, Sebastian. Okay, so we're going to move on to part two now, the tasks. I understand that you've seen two possible readings to talk about. Which one would you like to talk about?
I'd love to talk about the stuff article, the or stuff and self-storage.
Okay, lovely, thank you. So tell me, what's your opinion, first of all, on reading this news article?
Well, it's correct to see that people have more stuff, and I think it fits with the age, where I mean the age as in the century which we're in at the moment, where I think it's easier to buy things. There's more shops, and definitely now with the internet, which it makes it even easier to shop. I mean, if you look at Amazon alone, how easy it is with a one click away from a purchase. It's it makes it so much easier.
Okay. Do you have a lot of stuff, Sebastian? Are you a person who
I'm not
things?
hoarding a lot, but I do have a storage place, to be honest, and you know, houses are very small here in England, so it's not like you have a lot of space in the loft or something to put all your extra stuff there. So therefore, I rent a self-storage unit,
Okay.
not far from here, and I've got my main boxes with stuff, old stuff, and you know, from the past in there, so it frees up the house.
Okay. In the article, there was a statistic that in 1930, a woman only owned 9 outfits, whereas compared to nowadays, she owns 30 outfits. As a man and dressing well, what do you think now about men and consumerism and buying too many things and clothes and accessories? Would you agree that it is trebled in that period of time, or do you think men buy
Well, I don't
less?
know what the statistics, because they didn't give me the statistics, of course, for men. But I would say that I think the access again is easier. Plus, clothes are becoming more important. You know, in general, I would say. I mean, you see a lot more advertising. You see a lot more on the television, on the internet, and it's easy to get the stuff too. It's easy to go shopping. But again, I don't know what the exact statistics are on men owning more stuff. But you know, if I look at myself, I own quite a lot of clothes, so maybe that would be the same for other people too.
Okay. What do you think about us being a throwaway generation? For example, people buying clothes. It's become much easier to buy more products cheaper with the likes of Primark.
Exactly.
You can buy 6 t-shirts for £3. The quality is low, you can throw them away after 3 months, and we have become a throwaway society. What do you think about that?
I can, you know, I agree with that. I think beforehand, you know, back in the 30s, as the article also suggested, you know, women only owned a small collection of clothes, and I think that's because they didn't have this massive production lines, and they didn't have the transport, because nowadays all the clothes get produced outside the UK, and the prices are much lower there, which makes it much more accessible for people to buy them at a lower price. So therefore, yeah, I think people, like you say, you know, with the Primark being there, they buy stuff at a very low price, and when they don't want to wear it anymore, I think it's more a fashion rather than a necessity, which it was in the past. And the whole fashion thing, when something goes out of fashion, they replace it by something else, which is very cheap to replace it with. So it's a very, it's too easy to do.
Okay, so what do you think the impact on society is if we're a throwaway society? What's the wider impact around the world?
Well, I think it's an environmental impact to start off with. You know, I think it's firstly we're overproducing, which means that we're buying more stuff, and because we're buying more stuff, we need to throw away more stuff. So I think that creates a huge issue around environmental issues.
Sebastian, can you tell me how much advertising influences what you buy?
I think a lot. Like I said earlier, you know, with the television being there, accessing younger people, you know, if we talk about the younger generation, accessing them through different channels, that has a huge impact with, you know, on people, on children, on adults, on everyone really, because the power of advertising maybe reflects how many clothes are sold and how effective this is. And of course, the statistics are not given in the article, but I presume that this has a huge impact on the consumerism of people.
Okay, Sebastian, that's the end of task 2. We're now going to move on to task 3, where we'll have a discussion and debate about the subject. There's 2 choices, A or B. Which one would you like to choose?
A.
Okay, and I will read statement 4 for you. Statement 4 is everyone should get a university degree before starting a career. What's your response to that?
It depends on what the career is, of course.
Okay.
So what do you have in mind for what kind of career?
Well, let's talk about teaching, because that's my career.
Right, okay, that's I think in teaching, you have to have a degree in order to provide people with the information they need and with the teaching they need. And people without a degree, it's difficult. And definitely when you're young and you're inexperienced, it's very hard to then provide them with the, how things in real will work.
Okay. Let's talk about the career that you want in Silicon Valley. Do you need a degree to go to America and be an entrepreneur in technology?
Well, this is contradicting because, when you look at the big entrepreneurs like, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, they were all at university, but they dropped out and, they started their own company and they were super successful. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't say that everyone should, drop out of college and go and build their own company, but I do think it does say something about society, that it is possible to start with nothing and to build this, a company. However, for certain jobs within the company, I think you need to have a degree because it will give you a certain level in life and also a level into knowledge and the way how you research things and how you come to conclusions about certain things. University, because I'm at university, I can say this now, it teaches you certain values which really helps in the rest of your life. However, the specialization on this might be, people might have a degree in a certain subject but might go on to something entirely different. So the career might change, but those values which you learned during your university years, they're still there, and those are, just as key as all the other bits.
Okay. What do you say, where previously maybe the top 5% of academic students went to university, but now more like 25% of students are going to university? Do you think that university qualifications have been diluted because people are doing a degree in armchair science or a degree in...
I think diluted is the wrong word. I think it's more available. I think it's, it's more accessible to go and go to university and study for a degree because, the government is helping us with a loan. Yeah, it's accessible for everyone. As long as you've done your A levels well, you can go and have a degree. I do agree with you that it's a very wide range on different topics. And like I said earlier, some people might study for a certain degree, but then they come to the conclusion that this is not what they want to do in real life. So they start their career and go off into a whole new direction. So
do you think that university really is a very sort of embryonic environment to be, that you can develop yourself personally, professionally, academically?
Exactly, and I think, for certain jobs, if you want to be a surgeon, or if you want to be a solicitor, this is very specialized. You need to know it before you can go. If you would have to learn it, it would take you a very, very long time.
How do you feel about, obviously in this country, students coming out of a 3-year degree course with a £47,000 debt, depending on the subject they've done? If they've done a high-level academics unit of £9,000 a year, coming out at 21 in debt with no prospect of getting a job in that field and working in Costa Coffee within 4 years?
Well, fortunately, the government is so kind to, you have to pay interest on the debt, which is not good. I'm not saying that having a debt is good, but at least you don't have to pay it off straight away. So even if you would work in Costa and you would earn £18,000, you don't have the big debt to pay off as well. The debt will only, you only have to start paying it once you start earning more. So in that way, it's a great system because if you have progressed from your Costa job maybe to an admin job and maybe to do something else, that means that you earn more, and that also means that you don't have to start paying. So, but to answer your question, is it good to have a debt? No, I don't think it's good, but it's great to have education, and those people did have a degree, and it was their own choice as well. It's not that they had to do it; it was their own choice to be in debt. They knew it was coming.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much, Sebastian. That's the end of your test today. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you very much. Great.